It is time for the fifth and final game, and I'm going to put myself out here. Right now, we've got Fnatic.Sen, Ralph Macchio, a.k.a. Danny LaRusso, in the finals of
a.k.a. Will Smith's kid. You'll
Will
never
Smith's
know
kid.
his name.
In the finals here, going up against Johnny from the Cobra Kai, a.k.a. Slayer's Boxer, the very, very villainous Terran player in the blue. Slayer's Boxer is a legend, but in this matchup here, in the end, I think he's going to be Johnny for me. You take your sides, you choose it up. But we've got our red Zerg Fnatic.Sen spawning in the southeast, Boxer, our blue Terran, spawning in the northeast, and this is it. The crane kick is going to come out for one of these players.
I cannot believe that Sen managed to take that to a deciding Game 5 in such a decisive fashion. It's so easy to get a little intimidated, but we saw Sen hold down in boss mode, especially when all those medevacs began to pop out, because what was so impressive to me is that when Sen did that huge crunch on Boxer's main force, that's when he started making Mutalisks, had the amazing foresight to know that he would be able to get those Mutalisks out in time, that he wouldn't need to continue to flood lanes, and Boxer was not prepared for that sort of mid-battle planning by Sen, and it looks like Boxer, again, going to be going for the forward racks here on Crevasse, but look at these positions. Wheat Fnatic.Sen's going to be so happy to see that second backdoor base from Boxer is right next to Sen's Mutalisk harass path. That is easy access harass. And ooh, Sen doing a bold forward hatch.
Yeah, and this is kind of amongst the debate topics for Zergs on this map, because, you know, you can go here to the back, but it's not as rich of an expansion. Some people argue, well, it still gives you the larva that you need. It's kind of like a bonus macro hash, but we see a lot more Zergs just going, you know what, forget about it. I'm going to defend this area. Like you mentioned, there's not this easy path because those rocks have to be taken down. So unless they're going to proxy really forward, you kind of got some room to breathe a little bit. And we are going to see the scouting go out. Sen is going to basically go last position, or he'll end up scouting the last position for Boxer, taking that clockwise direction. And Boxer is actually going to go cross now from the center. And he must have seen the Overlord, I'm guessing. And so he turned back around. And we'll see that the hatch is down. So we are going to also see Sen go up on the other side as well.
Ooh, interesting. We see the double gas going down by Boxer. We saw a very interesting mech play that was executed by Marine King Prime to absolutely crush Sen on this very map. However, we did see that when Marine King Prime was doing that big mech play, that he was very fragile at the start of the game. Read his opponent well, read Sen, and known that drones were coming out instead of any sort of Ling flood, but if Sen has studied that past game, he knows that there are a couple of holes early in that play, could possibly take it out. We're not guaranteed to see Boxer do a mech play, but I would not be surprised with that sort of insane flood of refineries early on. There's a second barracks going down, but still I'm not convinced that we're not going to see some sort of extra big factory play outcoming.
Yeah, it could possibly happen. We got the command center finishing up right here, and we'll keep an eye as first factory is indeed going down. Now, one thing to note is that we did have gas pulled here, just left one drone on it for Sen. Really trying to get those minerals up right now, as he is at 30 supply to his opponent's 25. Really droning up here, more on the way, and speed is going to be coming a little bit earlier for Sen than it has in the last couple of games. So curious to see why he just didn't delay or decided to go this route right here, as we do have SCV going down, and now Overlord's moving into position. Really would love to peek and see what is going on here inside of Boxer's base.
See that factory now wrapping up. Boxer immediately throwing down the fast starport. We see the reactor getting added. Wouldn't be surprised to see that very cool Viking play that we saw on Terminus, but it looks like Sen being a little cautious with his Overlord placement, and the third hatch goes down for Sen. We see the Evolution Chamber going down, not just for that +1, but also to have a little bit of Banshee defense as well. Zerglings for Sen moving through the center of the map. They are going to spot the Tech Lab and Reactor at the front, so that's a great bit of information from Sen. He knows the composition he's going to be up against, not the mech that we saw from Marine King Prime, but the typical Marine mix that we see from most Terran players. And man, we look at that drone count getting real high, extra gas is getting taken at the natural expansion, and no layer quite yet.
And you were right. We are seeing a Viking come out. Actually, he's going to choose to just go Viking and Medevac. And I actually like that decision better because there's nothing in the air for the Zerg. One Viking can eventually do the same job. He's going to be able to catch at least 2 Ovies here and whatever he might be able to go into the base and harass as well. Still drones coming out, but this is where we start to see the transition from Sen. The moment that +1 attack gets started, melee attack for the Lings, we start to see a few more Zerglings coming out. He is taking that third, the inside third, and he's still got these Lings outside just watching to see what's going on. Loaded up Medevac here. Viking is going to escort out, and let's see if this Overlord's going to see it, and he does catch a glimpse of it. It's too bad that we did not see that Viking go out there first, but he might have a successful drop here. There are not very many Lings out. He's going to drop right here in the natural. Couple Lings move forward. We're going to have Queen start to do damage on that Medevac, but all the Marines get unloaded. No Ling, 20 Lings on their way. He's just going to do as much damage as he can. Also taking out an Overlord in the back. And he's got to be careful right when these Lings come out. He's going to move forward and he's going to load back up. No, he's going to put himself nice little choke there. He's just going to do as much damage as he possibly can in this attack.
And there, the Viking manages to get a kill or 2 on the Overlords, and it looks like he will be able to take out this final one. Oh no, a little bit of a misclick there by Boxer. The drop now heading in towards the main. That Queen's sitting happily at 17 hit points, feeling oh so low. But another Medevac swinging in from Boxer at the natural and the main. 2 hits at once. The Viking trying to swing around, pick off that weekend Overlord, and the Queen of the expansion falls. The drop in the main for Boxer doing huge damage. A lot of Lings out right now for Sen, and no Queens anywhere that I can find, at least, Weed. Oh, there's one at the third base. Poor thing. She's the last of her kind. In the meantime, in the main, Boxer doing some amazing damage, just sitting between those tiny little niches in the mineral patches where he can get such a great positioning. In the meantime, Boxer now producing tanks, now adding on more barracks. The engineering bay is done. No upgrades started yet. Let's go to that drone count. Wow, amazingly, Sen is still ahead. He's getting a few more of those Banelings, and it's still pretty close. I would give an advantage to Boxer just because of those Queens, but you know, I mean, Boxer did lose quite a bit in that battle, Wheat.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, some other things I guess to consider. He did take out those Overlords. We saw him supply block for a lot. So a lot of the larvae, once the Queens were gone, had to go to the Overlords. Just now he's started to get some injects going. He's got a little bit of energy on that Queen. Another thing to consider is those drones were not mining for a long time as they got caught up there in the battle. So, you know, I mean, I do feel like with the nice control as he dropped and also worked on the Viking and took out the Overlords, that he maybe pulled ahead just a little bit there, because I think that really the larva is where it came down to. Like you said, those Queens going down. There's not that many Zerglings out here right now, and only 4 Banelings. We do have 20 Lings on the way, but you know, now we're going to have Boxer kind of moving out. He's going to have to start thinking about a third here, I think, is, you know, he's got some nice saturation going on both of his bases. Another barracks going down, so a lot of racks right now. His army isn't huge. He's probably not gearing up for attack, but, you know, I don't know. Now things have equalized, so...
But Boxer has a huge chance to swing ahead, because look at this Wheat. The layer is just hitting halfway done. Without a layer, there's no chance to get the Mutalisks or the Speed Banelings. In other words, there's no way to do the huge pressure that you always want to be doing as Zerg. Sen is, weirdly enough, in defensive mode. Again, that is the theme of this series. Boxer's amazing ability to constantly put the Zerg on the defense instead of to be the aggressor. It is the Terran who has been the aggressor every single game, time in, time out. No speed for those Banelings. And there they are moving up, and it looks like Sen's going to try to wrap around, give him the Zerg hug before he can get sieged up. Oh, huge hits by Boxer on the siege tanks. Obliterating that Baneling count, and now Boxer is free to move ahead and start assaulting that natural expansion.
Yeah, the Baneling's halfway done here. We do have a few Lings, but he's got to use them together. Lings are going to move in, try to get a nice little cup here on the bridge. Great surround, and in come the Banelings, but a pickup by the Medevacs to save an awful lot there. Even got the siege tank in one of those guys. Those Medevacs, a few of them very low on health, but again, the lair just finishing, and that means the Spire just not even down yet, actually. There it goes down just as we mentioned it. The +2 attack is underway, so again, a lot of units units here for Sen, but not having the Overlord speed, that did, that hurt a little bit in that battle, making some of those banelings ineffective. And he did defend very nicely, but he is a little bit behind from the last time that we've seen him in this. He already had a few mutas out. Now we got +2 weapons coming out for the Terran, a lot of missile turrets going down before the mutas even go out. So the timing here, I think Boxer with that initial attack early on really kind of threw that off. So I wonder if Sen can just, recuperate from that.
You gotta admire the brilliance of Boxer's strategy start to finish. A lot of people are gonna see this and just think, yeah, he did some aggression at the start and that was cool, maybe I'll do that. And oh yeah, he just attacks with a lot of stuff often, I guess I'll do that. It's the fact that Boxer did that push and it meant no layer, no fast units, and in particular no units that could shoot up, so Boxer has the freedom to be aggressive when his medevac count is moderate. And then if he gets wrapped around, as we just saw, he just lifts up and retreats. There's always a retreat option for Boxer. Even look at him here now with these units advancing forward, swing into the back, and then just lifting up into the medevac. Now that the Spire's done, there's a little bit of a threat that he needs to be more defensive, but that's really when his tank count is so high that Zerg needs to be on the defensive foot again. I mean, every moment Boxer has some linked together from his previous move that just allows him again to do a little bit more damage, and I am loving the fact that that one barracks with the tech lab gets given to the factory. And look at this at the bottom left, Boxer just patiently waiting for this one hatchery to get a little bit farther down the pipeline, and then he's going to bum rush it and take it down.
They had their watches synced. They're like, no, you got to wait till it bing, bing, and then they went in for the kill. Lings are going to stream in here. Boxer's like, it's cool, I don't need to load up. He actually could have probably taken that out, no problem, but in come the mutas, and that will dispense that. Oh, no, one muta goes down. This actually throwing him off, and look, Boxer is moving through the middle. Now, we did see Sen make 10 mutas the moment that the Spire finished, so he does have a few more mutas out than I think Boxer might be expecting. We're going to have another medevac loading up, and this center in the middle here for Boxer. Oh, no, it gets sniped out of the air. Poor Marines. Never knew it coming. Oh my gosh, ton of damage going to be done to these forward siege tanks. One does go down, forces a stim off of these Marines. There are only a few banelings there to help, and they are not going to suicide their way in. We're going to have mutas swinging around, and this center can be kind of bittersweet because Sen, a guy who likes to counterattack, could easily swing around the back now that all these rocks are gone. But oh my god, look at the reinforcements from Boxer.
Oh, swing on in. Oh, Sen needs to pick off these tanks. This is exactly what he's looking for, getting it low on health. But Boxer, overstimming a little bit. Only 2 medevacs out on the field. It's going to be hard to heal all those units up in time. Look at the natural expansion. Sen is playing so well. Huge numbers of Zerglings and Banelings at the 4th base. Huge number of Zergling and Banelings at the natural. We see more tanks, a little vulnerable, and we see another restim by Boxer to try to repel them. And a beautiful spread of all those Marines. This is nail-bitingly close. And we see the level 3 upgrades getting started for those Marines. Likewise, we see the Zerg sitting at 2 attack, 1 armor. More Marines trying to move down to the left side. Now Sen again sends the defensive master in this game.
God.
Seeing those Marines nullifying that, shutting that down. He's got to pull back, or is he just going to go for it? Oh, a little bit of indecision.
Oh yeah, he's got the opportunities to attack from 2 different places right now. Mutas are going to move in, take out these few Marines that are there. Siege tanks are moving forward, going to siege. I thought we were going to see one attack through the ramp and then another attack through the other ramp, but it looks like Boxer is going to do exactly that. He stays in the middle, moves forward. There's a lot of units there. Banelings do a ton of damage. A bunch of Marines killed right there, and there are still so many units here for Sen. He does have to be careful for these siege tanks that have moved forward, but I feel like he's really lowered the Marine count here. Might be able to take out the remaining Marines, do some serious damage to those siege tanks, and here he goes!
And here comes Sen. He's swinging from all angles. The tanks do some huge damage to the Baneling. Sen moving in from the right side, but Boxer's positioning is absolutely brilliant, and he crushes that force from Sen. Sen now remaking 32 Zerglings. Sen's Mutalist count so low. Boxer, who patiently waited to bait the Zerg into an awkward position and then wrapped around and crushed it, and now Boxer sprinting to pick off that 4th base, sprinting to the bottom left to pick off the 5th base. And we see Sen trying to move through the center, pick off anything that he can, but Boxer has the upper hand.
Yeah, Boxer actually, or excuse me, Sen looks like he actually is going to go in for it, a counterattack here as we just saw Command Center go down. There is a large force for Boxer just to the other side, and oh my gosh, you got to pay attention. There's 1 Muta, 2 Muta, 3 Mutas go down, and a bunch of Lings, and I mean, Sen is not looking so hot in this matchup right now. It is 197 for Boxer and 132, both players at the food limit, but not necessarily maxed. Of course, Boxer gets there first, and really just a few Mutas out there looking at Utica. Oh, he's going to attack up into this day.
Oh, and the tanks just annihilate the Baneling. The Zergling count from Sen so high, though. One Baneling lands beautifully, and it looks like Sen is going to manage to keep his bottom left secured, but the hatch is long gone. It's going to be a while before Sen gets that up and running again. The main from Sen completely mined out. The back door getting low on minerals. The natural extremely low on minerals. And look at the center weep. Look at this huge force swinging in. Oh,
wow.
The Karate Kid may have crane kicked himself in the face.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi's little hand clap, rub, whatever he did, it didn't quite work out here because the Mutalist numbers have increased a lot, but the ground army's just not a whole lot of Baneling moving forward. Oh my god, but the Banelings hit a huge part, and Sen. Oh my god.
Boxer advances. Boxer with the narrow 3-2 victory over Sen. Sen, who played absolutely phenomenally in that series, was unable to best the resilient, aggressive power style from Boxer. I mean, that's the sort of aggressive Terran that we have not gotten the chance to see in this TSL. That is right up there with the amazing players like Thorzane, just who cannot ever take their foot off the gas pedal. Boxer with an incredible win. He will be up against the victor of Jesus Obs against tomorrow, the best of 5 that we'll be doing after this. But man, was that an incredible, incredible play by Boxer or what?
Yeah, and again, you know, what worked for Sen in the last game that he needed to do in this game, which is basically really go in and attack that production of the Terran, he was unable to do. A lot of that had to do with the fact that Boxer got some of that early aggression off, kind of delayed his opponent with those drops that came out. That worked out really good. The Lair came late. The Spire came late, and so he never got his Muta numbers up. And then, you know, I honestly, I thought that Boxer was going to have a tougher time defending that middle, despite the fact that he had a lot of tanks, a good spread there. But what I was worried about was, you know, how effective could an attack be from 2 different angles? I'm not sure if Sen ever really capitalize on that. It's not an easy thing to do by all means, but I mean, it surprised me as Boxer just completely shut it down. Like, it was on mad lockdown. Nothing was going to get through there. And just to see the Infa army come back, the Infinity army just of Boxer, is pretty impressive. So congratulations to Slayers Boxer. What a great game.
I mean, again, should just be delighted with himself, because keep in mind that the games that Sen won were pretty solid-looking games from Sen. Just held on for a little while, and then whoosh, huge number of units. And those games that Boxer won, he had to be relentless every single game. I mean, that must be exhausting to play a series like that from Boxer, having to have that incredible focus. One misclick means all your Marines get blasted by a Baneling, but with that macro and the timing and the cute little Viking medevac combat shield drops, I am just so excited to see Boxers play in these future rounds. And really, Boxer seems to be the only player who can combat the Korean curse that has just been running through the TSL. If you're Korean, you ain't going to be living long unless you're MC or Boxer.
Yeah, and you know, I even want to extend some credit beyond Boxer, because as of late, the entire Slayers team has really been impressing with these little diamonds in the rough that have been like, oh, who is this guy? Oh my God, he's raging everyone. And, you know, whatever is happening over there, whatever training they are doing, certainly rubbing off on the Emperor himself. I feel like this is probably the best that I have seen him. You know, I could have mistakenly thought, oh my God, Boxer is so godlike when we first saw him face off versus Nada in the GSL. But really after that, his vulnerabilities came out, his his strengths were there, but his weaknesses were very apparent. And that really looked like a refined legend like you expect. Sen, who's been doing remarkable as of late, putting up some good results, gets taken out. And this makes me happy in any best of 5 series in a 3-2. Really some phenomenal games. Really happy that we got to cast those. And yes, I think we're going to take a break. And then we're going to be moving on to a TVP day. Oh, yes.
Did you just say TVP?
I meant ZVP.
Wait, you mean an infested Terran versus Protoss. Oh, I'm so clever.
Oh, see, I was wrong, but you made me right, and that you're awesome.
Hey, NP, anything I can do to help? I'm actually briefly rewatching that final battle to see Boxer, who's just having some amazing target fires with his tanks, to blast through all those Banelings. I mean, that is hard to split your Marines themselves, but just to be able to target fire those tanks as you want, I mean, it's that little extra mile that Boxer goes that really helps him win. So whatever you do, do not go anywhere. We will be right back after a short caster voice break here at the Team Liquid Star League.
Yes, so guys, stick around. Coming up next, Hasuabs versus Morrow here for the PokerStrategy.com TSL3 Saturday. We'll be right back.